Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Letter, where we have a very important decision facing us.
Took us 2.5 days to make this decision.
It's true. It did. But I think we've decided we're going to free up our schedule, because I think that'll get us points.
We think. But we were wrong before.
It's true. We have been wrong before. We're probably wrong.
But I guess we can free up a day to meet with you.
I'm curious how that went. No, okay. That's good, I guess.
Yeah, not a big Marianne fan, but
No,
fine.
but it does seem like being friends with the people opens up more scenes with them, kind of like with Ash.
Ashhole.
Yeah.
I don't really need another maudlin Monday reading about Maury anyway. The book club can function without me for one day. What time shall we be seeing each other? How does lunch sound?
It was a blast from the past of a bookstore. I worked at a bookstore for a very long time at one point. Tuesdays at Maury's.
It's just, it took me a second to think about what they were talking about.
Monday. So it was not even correct, but.
Besides, my house has a higher priority over book club. Why, we can hold the next meeting in this special place. Surely the beauty and grandeur of it all will inspire spirited and lively debates about whether modern-day writers could match up to the classics. I might as well clear up the rest of my week to handle whatever affairs buying this mansion requires of me.
Because your husband won't be able to help you because he's a twit.
Yeah, he doesn't seem super invested.
He doesn't seem super intelligent.
I go back and forth. I don't know. I need to see more. I need more evidence to work with. Any social activity can be put off until the Ermengarde, or rather, the Wright Mansion's great debut. I'll have my fill of great parties and gatherings, especially when I organize them myself.
That sounds good. Although, with a project of this scope, we might need most of the day to tackle your concerns. A more thorough inspection of the place is also preferable.
Breakfast then. It's a date.
It's really not.
All right. Monday. 10 o'clock sharp. We'll see you then.
Actually, Marianne suggested that we meet at 9, but who is even awake at that unholy hour?
Yo. Him might be false.
It's true. I was lucky enough to wake up this morning before Luke went all the way to Cardiff. We say our goodbyes, shake hands, and make it clear without outright saying it that we now own this house. By the time we left the mansion grounds, sunset is almost upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then?
Yes,
That's a
Mr.
bit of a big
Malfoy
impulse
ripoff.
buy,
I
even
do.
coming from you. Not that I'm complaining.
Okay, he seems into it. I feel elation when I hear those words from him. It's not every day one is able to please someone like Luke. He gives away false flattery to sway those who starve for his attention and approval. But in the privacy of closed doors, he would often express his grievances. He neither censored himself in front of me nor spared me from his criticism.
You have been saying the penthouse was getting a bit too small for you. Happy anniversary.
Oh. That time of the year already?
Oof.
Ouch.
He forgot about it last year, too. I understand he's a busy man, but...
Is that why you want to buy it?
Yes. You don't like it?
I do. But I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to live next to the beach.
Botany Babe, Kent. I remember the sea, water that stretched on for miles and miles, as far as the eyes can see. As a kid, I loved our beach trips, swimming all day as much as I could. I was a well-behaved child, and the only time I was ever truly difficult was when I refused to get out of the waters, even when my fingers had gone all wrinkly. And even when they managed to pull me out of the water, there was always sandcastles. The day before we were married, I told Luke I wanted a house on the beach and a dog. And a kid or two. None of those came true 7 years later.
That was a childish dream. Living next to the beach is so impractical if you really think about it.
I don't know. It's not a bad thought to see you in a bathing suit every day.
That's what you think about?
To be fair, it's like the first, even tiny bit of character we've seen out of him.
It's the first bit of, I guess, affection he has for his wife?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Maybe another time, love. We still have forever, don't we?
He says nothing, only grabbing my hand and holding it tight as we spend the rest of the ride home in silence. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it's like a loveless marriage.
Hashtag relationship goals, question mark?
I miss the sea. Sick and hovering over the loo at 3 in the morning, the picture I paint right now is hardly glamorous. A horribly fishy taste is left in my mouth as I throw up what I had for dinner, and I hate this acrid stench that fills the lavatory. The burning sensation at the back of my throat is of no help whatsoever. I can feel another wave of nausea come up on me when the door opens.
Hannah, what are you doing so early out of bed?
I'm fine, love. I must have just eaten something bad.
That's all I managed to say before vomiting again into the porcelain throne. Lovely.
Just go back to bed, Luke. I'm going to clean up here.
I refuse to look at him. I don't want him to see me like this. The last time I had horrible morning retching into a toilet was during my college years, being the life of the party. Thoughtless and shameless, I had thrown away months to frivolous merriment and pointless hookups. It didn't even retain any of the connections I had made from that time. Sure, they still know of me and I still know of them, and we still do business from time to time, but I've lost touch with anyone who I didn't see on a daily basis. I hardly have any friends I had when I was still Hannah Evans. Teachers, fellow university students, drinking buddies, and old conquests like Jack.
Ooh, who's Jack?
No, don't touch me, sweetie. It's disgusting. I'm disgusting.
Luke sits down next to me on the toilet to hold my hair, even as I cough up more fish. Yeah.
Just a little bit. He went up now. He's comforting her while she's puking into the toilet. Okay.
So I'm saying, like, it doesn't seem like they're like indifferent to each other. I think they're just like tend to be harsh. He wipes the vomit from the corner of my mouth and just stares.
Do I need to fire someone? I don't feel sick.
Maybe
Just
she's
feeling
pregnant.
a bit under the weather, dear. It's been unbearably hot as of late, hasn't it?
I wondered if it had something to do with the letter.
Or the house.
Or-
I was gonna go pregnancy or the house.
I do wish it would rain.
Are you sure it wasn't those sweets? I told you not to eat those sweets.
Maybe. Well, don't laugh.
Well, I can't help if you make that sort of face.
Also, who goes to bed with that giant ass necklace on?
Well, and I'm also like, well, I guess maybe
He's
he
in a
wasn't in bed.
suit.
Yeah, I was like, is he sleeping in the suit?
Is it
suit
super pajamas? Van.
I have to lie
Stas-
perfectly still so I don't wrinkle my suit jamas. He starts chuckling, and soon enough, he's in a fit of laughter. The scene happening next to Lou, filled with sick, just makes the whole thing bizarre, and it nearly makes me start giggling as well. I try to stifle it though as I smack him on the shoulder.
I'm not making a face, Luke. Stop laughing.
All right.
Shut up.
You know, it'd be really horrific if, while she's puking in the toilet, that crazy ass lady's face is in the water.
Oh, I was just thinking that.
Game, call me. I have ideas.
When you not stop laughing, I let myself go as laughter bubbles from my own throat, and I forgot whatever ill feelings plagued me. We are just husband and wife, laughing together at a funny face, the little things in life. I let myself go because I know that these moments will not last forever. But if I just know the terrible things that are to come for us, I would have wished with everything I have then and there that the laughter stayed.
Aw, I increased them a little bit.
Up, higher. Come on now.
The place is bustling with movers carrying furnishings here and there, along with several trunks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse. Luke watches them like a hawk, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen.
Careful now. I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic,
Careful
but those
now,
are framed by
I will
African
rule this
blackwood
movie
and are
with an
one
iron
of a kind
fist.
commissioned
Sorry.
paintings.
I couldn't help it. Look at that picture.
I do, yeah, that pose is just...
Next, if we're never moving again, but ooh, maybe we have like furniture delivered. I want you to like stand there with this pose. I want that couch only 5 millimeters from that wall.
With a suit and the tie and all that, hair slicked back. Perfect.
Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
Ooh.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's Emma Hot. No, you there, put that down. You do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
What he said.
I can see the exasperation and have to send the foreman on an apologetic glance. Even Johannes rolls his eyes as he goes by.
Good man.
Considering Luke is always like this during a project, Johannes and I have gotten used to it. Poor Mary Ann, on the other hand, looks a bit stressed at seeing the gigantic mess before quickly going back to work. Everything just has to be perfect, exactly the way he wants it. One little thing out of place, one little thing that didn't fit the image he clearly constructed in his head, and Luke gets bent out of shape.
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs?
Is there a closet just for his suits?
Let your Hans and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
Please tell me this is a thing.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
He needs a raise.
Johannes, you're great. Taking him by the hand, I lead him upstairs into our bedroom.
I wish you were somebody we could be friends with.
Yeah. Oh,
my.
no. Now I'm worried about what's gonna happen to him because he's not on the list. All right, maybe it'll be fine. Maybe it'll be fine.
This is a snazzy room.
So wait, what date are we on? I guess maybe I should have paid more attention. Do we actually own this place now? I completely missed where we ended up. Shoot, I don't want to go too
back.
far forward.
You can't see anything. I don't think she owns it yet. There you go. See? Maybe they're so far into the paperwork that...
Yeah, okay.
Because I know one...
Oh, wait, no, because I think we're on the 23rd. And this is the 22nd, was signed paperwork.
Okay.
Okay.
This is gaudy as hell. There's a mirror in here, too.
Oh, no.
Take the mirror down.
Yeah, I would destroy all mirrors.
All right, anyways.
Okay. The place has been arranged first so that we can get some rest, no matter what state the rest of the mansion is in. I'm definitely glad I can just lie down on a soft, comfy bed after what has been a busy morning. Watching Luke act like his life depended on getting this move done is tiring all on its own. And to think I have a whole day of this ahead of me. I feel the bed dip beside me as Luke sits down with a sigh.
I can't wait for this to be over.
I don't know. It's fun seeing you all fired up. Here at home and not at work, you know.
You know I can't always be home, Hana. I have a company to run, unless you've forgotten.
I haven't forgotten. You're the one who insists on being there to make sure each and every little thing is under control. I just really miss you sometimes, and I wish you were at home more often. Why, if you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home. And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
I don't...
This house is so big, you could literally get like 50 cats and you'd never find them again.
Is it still called a farm if it's just cats?
Oh, I think it's a farm if you just have cats.
Okay.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture. Besides,
Not if I
you don't even like
train them.
cats.
True.
Dogs then.
Dogs are infinitely superior, of
Hamsters?
course.
Get a pig.
Snakes?
But what about the
Rabbits?
wet dog smell? The mess. I'm not cleaning
pig?
up after a mutt, no matter how cute.
Muskrat?
Ooh, that's a good one.
If you think about it, a cat would be better.
Parrot. It can mimic the dead chick.
A parrot is a good choice. We laugh. It's not always that we can just lie down and talk about these sort of things. To joke around as if we're teenagers again with very little problem in the way of responsibilities and roles. To hear his genuine honest-to-goodness laughter is a rarity. This is the second time as of late, and I can only see it as signs of good things to
All
come.
good points. I guess we could just have kids. That is, if you prefer dealing with soiled nappies and sick as opposed to dead birds, mice, and litter boxes.
I don't think he's gonna deal with that. That'll be your job.
Yeah, it
I've
sounds
already
like...
told Marianne about turning the second bedroom into a children's room.
I guess sometimes I don't know when I'm crossing a line.
That look.
I didn't say that I am a good comedian, did I?
Not this again.
There's that fist again.
What? I wasn't being serious.
It's not something you take the piss out of.
What?
He's not wrong. He's saying it's not something you like joke about.
Oh, okay.
Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hannah.
Again, not wrong.
We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
Should be, yeah, I mean, that's parenting goal right there. Just make it past that first week.
Oh, God.
I feel
shit.
like,
Apologize for bringing it up.
yeah, I think that's probably the way to go. How'd we do? Oh, that was wrong.
Frick.
We are doing so bad with him.
Can we reload?
No. I am kind of curious because I have a feeling like this is going to close off scenes to us, but man, I feel guilty, uneasy even, about bringing this topic up. This isn't the first time I brought it up there, considering we've been married for 7 years, but I should have learned my lesson. Talking about it has always gotten me disapproval. After all, this is one of the surefire ways to get Luke into a terrible
I'm
mood.
sorry, but I do think you...
Don't finish that sentence, Hannah. Just don't.
So it seems like she was about to say that anyway. I wonder if you can only make wrong choices there.
Maybe they're destined to get a divorce.
We know how this
Maybe
discussion
he's
ends.
destined to be
Let's not fight over what
creepy
ifs
dead
and
woman
if
food.
onlys.
But what if we are going to have a family, Luke? What then?
Maybe she's pregnant. Just
I
saying.
just told you. No what ifs.
Maybe.
We won't talk about it until you're ready.
Let's not talk about it then.
You might have to be ready
Ever.
tomorrow.
9 months.
I think he would notice by then.
8 months. The silence that follows is stifling. I avert my gaze from him, favoring the view of our 4-poster bed over seeing his embittered expression. Just thinking of how insensitive I am for bringing it up makes me feel sick to my stomach. We stay silent. Neither of us dare make the first move to leave. Until a crash from downstairs cuts through the tension.
Who's dead?
Okay, we're off the hook.
Is Marion dead?
Bloody hell, what is it now? I can't get away for 10 minutes without someone mucking something up. That better not be what I think it is.
The fist
I know
is
it's only
out.
an 8 million yen vase, but I swear,
Wait,
I'll...
why are we giving the cost in yen?
Probably because it was from Japan.
Sure, but he still probably
Is
paid
it a
pounds.
Ming Voss, is my guess?
I don't stop him as he storms off. He doesn't even bother to look my way. Yet I can still feel his eyes boring into me. Alone, as per usual.
Just me and my dead chick. Befriend her.
And
She
cats.
needs a friend.
Darn our 50 cats.
She needs a friend.
I really should be used to it by now. I can feel the minutes tick by with me just lying there, feeling miserable and full of self-pity. I have rolled over to lie on my stomach at this point, with my face buried into the pillows, when there's a knock at the door. Grumbling at them to go away doesn't work as a voice comes from the other side.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Wait, what? Wait, is that today? Oh, yes. People had caught wind of our new mansion the very moment we left the open house. Luke had boasted he could acquire the property in no time and allowed a photo shoot for an interior design magazine to be scheduled today. Well, there were complications, and it took longer than it usually does for us.
In a minute, Hansi.
Your Highness,
Hansi?
if you could at least make it through the end.
I'd like that she just makes up names for people and they keep correcting her.
Well, it's funny because they kept calling him Johans, and I'm like, wait, isn't that Johannes? And that's the first time that he's said it that way.
Tell them I'll be right down, Hansi.
Johannes.
The mansion grounds. Oh, we're on Wednesday, October 26th. So yeah, like that's like way after.
Yep.
Wait, what? Doesn't sound too. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, why are there kids there?
Because she's pregnant.
Yeah.
With twins.
Oh God. The mansion grounds has been one of the first things to be fixed up aside from the bedroom. Although it's still a work in progress, it had a promising start, and I can already see the flower patches. Luke's favored daffodils stands easily out, having been transplanted from the pots that used to litter the rooftop of our penthouse. Why, if the moving crew thought that Luke was being hard on them, they clearly didn't see the landscaper on his way out. The man looked like he was ready to faint, and Luke seemed ready to kill him by the end of their discussion.
Oh, it's
Oh.
Zach.
It is in the gardens that I see him standing near the flowers in quiet admiration. He's hard to miss, the hulk of a man that clearly did not belong, and the big backpack and suitcase he has with him makes him look much larger. It is a peculiar sight, seeing someone who looks like he does handling little delicate things with such care. He looks up from the gardens and does a double take before a friendly face replaces his serene expression.
Miss Wright, yeah? Hi, Zachary Steele here from Luxury Living, ma'am. Hope you weren't waiting too long. But it looks like you're still moving in, huh? Thought for a second there my calendar was wrong and I came here too early.
The one and only. Welcome, welcome to Maison de Right. And yes, we've been in the process of moving in as we were delayed. But it won't be a problem. They're just adding a few things here and there, and you should still be able to do your work. Where's the rest of your crew then, Mr. Steele?
Zach is fine, please. Mr. Steele makes me feel like I'm a mascot for a cleaning product. Anyway, I'll be your one-man crew for today. Don't worry, been doing this gig for a while now.
You must be quite the veteran to handle this on your own. We've had a full crew coming into our penthouse the last time we were covered in your magazine.
Veteran? Oh, your words are too kind, Miss Wright.
Hannah, if I get to call you Zach, you have my permission to call me Hannah.
Alrighty then. Anyway, I'm no veteran, but I know my camera well enough to make sure this is a good shoot. You can trust me on that, Miss Wright, Hannah.
Okay.
Right there. Good shot. Beautiful stained glass window. No dead people.
Yep.
I was feeling we're going to go to him and he's going to develop these photos and there's going to be the dead chick.
Oh, that would be interesting. Zachary proves quickly enough that I can, in fact, trust him. His skills with the camera and experience in this industry, at the very least. He is kind and courteous, listening and following as I lead him around the house. Really nice fellow, and he treats our household staff well whenever we cross paths with them. I answer his questions to the best of my ability, and he is patient enough to answer mine whenever I get curious enough. For one, I ask what the bags are for. They are quite the magician's toolkit. From inside, he has procured several items to embellish the interior with. Bowls of fruit, lemons, trays with peppermills, stacks of cookbooks, cutting boards, and glass canisters filled with colorful nuts and grains are brought in for a kitchen setting. For the bathroom, there are white towels, seashells, and decorative soaps. There are other things as well, too numerous to count, all in that large backpack and suitcase.
Tricks of the trade. Softens up a room, makes a place feel more homey, and fills it up with texture. But you guys probably have better stuff I can use for this.
No lights. Don't tell me all of these are just props.
Well, I've got my tripod here. For things like these, natural light is best. I'll just have to set the shutter speed to a real slow setting, and as long as nobody steps into the shot, it'll look great.
Oh, it better.
We go through the rooms one at a time, although we first tackle the ones that the movers have no business in anymore. The ballroom needs little preparation with its grand design, although there is some trouble at first with the wide open space and the pictures being backlit. It is in the kitchen that Zachary's props come in handy, considering how Johannes kept the place so neat and sterile. One can practically eat off the floor. We carry on, touring the house and taking pictures where we can, with exception to the rooms which have yet to gain any purpose or design. Too bad I can't take a sneak peek at his photos yet. Funnily enough, he is using a traditional camera. I didn't even know film still existed. With the way he speaks, however, I can see that he knows enough about his craft that I'm not too worried about botched photographs. I imagine photography must be cathartic for him, judging by how at ease he looks while taking pictures. There are small snippets of conversations in between the clicking from the camera. He even goes as far as to talk about these terminologies like shutter speed and aperture when I ask about the technical aspects. I can't quite see the picture as it is made, much like when I watch artists paint on their canvas. But just watching someone passionately practicing their craft such as this is exciting in its own way. Going through the many rooms has been quite the exercise for both of us. So I'm assuming, I'm curious to see if at some point we play as Zach and this ends up being crucial to the story.
It doesn't look like a house picture.
That does not look like a house picture.
That's why I was doing that.
Despite that, he has been so nice and I find myself putting on my best smile. But it is, as we are taking pictures in the foyer, that everything comes to a standstill for a moment. Just a moment. And had I not been paying attention, I wouldn't have even noticed. It is merely a split second when Zachary's rhythm is put to a halt. His finger doesn't move to release the shutter. Yet he also doesn't pull the camera away from his face, gaze still firmly fixed through the viewfinder. What is going on? His hands shake and there's a light sheen of sweat on his forehead.
Zachary?
No response.
Zach? Is something the matter?
Lowering his camera, he blinks and stares at something behind me before shaking his head. Turning around, though, I see nothing that could have gotten his attention.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something, that's all. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
I struggle to respond this time. There's a sudden weight on my back and an indescribable tightness around my throat. Everything stops, and everything starts again as I manage to choke out.
You're sure?
I don't know what just happened. It was probably just a dizzy spell. I'm fine. And he said he's fine. We continue at the same pace as before, although there's an unspoken agreement that we will not talk about what happened.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Murder house.
God.
Nah, I just freelance mostly, for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do.
Get the photo, develop it, show Isabella so she can go, look, bitches, I was not crazy.
I'm curious to see if it's going to show up in any of his pictures.
At least, not all the time.
What is it that you want to do then?
Maybe I've been out of line, sticking my nose into other people's business, but I can't help but ask. I regret doing so as I see his shoulders slump, and the easygoing air he has fades away. He looks torn over whether he wants to talk about it or not.
Films. Documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing, actually.
What thing?
Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People didn't like Blue Fonzie very much.
People don't like a film about colors. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
Very funny.
So, Grand Director, do you want to tell me what Blue Fonzie is all about?
He hesitates, but when I refuse to budge on the matter, he gives in and spills it all out. Blue Fonzie... Oh my god, my French is not that good.
Your French is better than me, which is sad because I'm the French
Bleu
one.
la plus sombre des noirs britanniques. Dark blue, the darkest hours of the Black British. He speaks with passion of one who has gone through the very matter he is concerned with. There is conviction, knowledge, and experience in his speech. Why, I would have told him that he is an amazing speaker if I wasn't so engrossed listening. prejudice and discrimination in schools and in the workplace. Lesser chances for opportunity and higher chances of being treated like a criminal. He spoke of blacks and people of color in general still being treated like second-class citizens, all because of the color of their skin. It is all just positively riveting and sad. It comes to a point wherein he soon loses steam and he looks abashed, realizing what he had just done.
Sorry, I just got so carried away and...
It's fine. It is really so fascinating to watch people talk about their passion after all. You should see how your eyes light up when you speak so fiercely. You do have very beautiful eyes.
What?
Uh-huh.
I think you're married.
Thanks, I guess.
To a
I want to say that I
crotchety
understand where he's coming from.
man that rules with an iron fist.
And slicked back hair. But I really don't, do I? I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth and I've lived a charmed life. It hasn't been perfect, but the difficulties I've been through pales in comparison to what others experience on a daily basis. I certainly don't know how I would have fared were it any different. Would I still have met Luke, and would he still have loved me if I was any lesser?
What was your home like? These things you talk about. It sounds like well, I don't mean to pry, I mean.
Live with my older sister and my grandparents. We had a shop selling all sorts of things below our flat. And well, I was one of the few non-white, non-British students in class.
So he's not even. What if he's American?
Yeah, when he started to say apartment and had to correct himself, I'm like, oh, so he's not British.
I didn't get pushed around or anything straight up. Even then, I was one of the biggest kids around, but a pencil and notebook would go missing, you know?
Oh, that I knew. Children can be so cruel at times. Of course, it may be a slightly different story when you have personal guards and the stolen item is not a pencil, but an expensive heirloom.
So what about you? How you liking your new house? It's pretty impressive.
It's nice, I suppose.
You suppose? Not big enough?
What? No, oh, don't be a bully. It's just that.
I understand if you don't want to talk about it.
I was a little girl, all dolled up and treated like a fragile porcelain, with nursemaids waiting to me hand and foot. All the material possessions anyone could ever want, I could ask for on a whim, and it would be handed to me just like that. But I barely saw my parents. Just goodbye kisses in the morning before they went off to who knows where they were needed to next. I saw them more often on the telly or in the papers than I ever did in person.
I remember my old house. It was a lot like this one. Big walls and big halls, but nobody in it. Not really. It makes you think how alone you are.
A pensive mood overcomes us, and there's a moment where neither of us are sure of how to go on from there. Things have gotten a bit too personal, yet it isn't wholly uncomfortable, like as if we've been friends before.
That's normal, ain't it? You just moved here.
Well, I'm going back to you need like 50 of some animal of your choice.
Yes. Pigs.
You'll make home out of it yet.
Marmots?
He certainly makes it easy to believe that. My childhood house is indeed a lot like this one. Just as large and extravagant.
You could build a
and
moat
just as
and
empty.
put crocodiles in it.
Don't think that would ease the loneliness all that much. Don't you crocodiles make good pets?
You could befriend the crocodiles.
I hope he's right.
So, Monsieur le Photographe, you've covered the one and only Ermengarde mansion. What's next on the agenda?
The interview?
Boring. It's an interior design and housing magazine.
And they want to know what Miss Wright has to say about her interior design and house.
Honor Wright thinks she bought a magnificent house that she can certainly brag about. Blah, blah. Boring. You know what they should print more of? I watched an interesting documentary the other day. Bleu Foncé, the darkest hours of the Black British. I recommend you watch it. Those are the things that people should know about. What do they care if I use a purple or green bowl of fruit in my kitchen?
Oh, they care.
Oh, they do.
People, right?
I would like to point out
People
that
are
green
shite.
is so last year. If it's purple or out.
That is the best sentence of this game so far.
What do you think? Do I look good with this angle?
I strike a pose while he's busy, looking taken aback for a moment, probably not expecting me to just go and say such a crass word. But he recovers quickly, and after snapping a few shots, he grins.
Yeah, vous êtes belle. You want copies of these ones?
Yes, please. So, the big boy knows French. You must have wooed a few ladies. Unless you're into gents. Either way, French is, after all, the language of romance.
No, I don't know about quoting fancy poetry, but I've made lunch for a girl before, and they did like that fancy French cuisine.
Can you cook your best?
I can cook just about anything as long as I know the recipe.
C'est magnifique.
Been too long since I've had a nice and proper chat with a good friend. No, Lee is certainly not a good friend. And although we've just met, Zachary is a sort who can probably befriend anyone. He's just a comfortable person to be around with. A bit too comfortable. Photoshoot went by a breeze, and somewhere along the way, as we talk and laugh, I find myself getting a bit too close without realizing. Uh-oh. He'll give me this strange look until I back off, and he'll go back to asking questions after I agree to do this little interview. And it's just odd. Well, no. Me being friendly isn't that odd. That is how I am. Zachary is the one that's being odd. Why, anyone else would absolutely welcome the extra attention I give them. He, on the other hand, looks almost flustered about it.
Because you're a married woman.
This is true.
Know your place.
He should be used to different personalities by now, having to deal with various peoples when he works. And if not, he needs to start. Perhaps nobody has shown him attention of this kind, but he's a big boy. He should be able to handle me. All it is a friendly touch here, a pretty smile there, and a gentle swaying of the hips as I move around. Wait, what? Zachary grew and grew more red every time he noticed. Am I being mean as I find enjoying and seeing him unravel? Perhaps. This went on during the interview and beyond that. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing, right? Zachary and I are just having a playful, friendly chat while enjoying the outside view. At least that's how I see it.
I'm sorry, but I'm really getting distracted. Could you maybe stop doing that?
Stop? All right, it's decision time, which means it's time. We'll pick it up in the next episode.
Also, what pet are they going to get 50 of?
That's true. Yeah, if you had to get 50 of an animal, what would it be? That's today's question. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.